locked environment, entrapped in daily living, captured by machines, memorizing every movement made by your own molecular structure, analyzed to the depths which stretch past the eyes, grasp down to the bacteria breeding amongst the surface of human skin. Surveillance makes us pawn of paranoid delusions, manipulating those less stronger than the aware, sending these messages not to scare, but to share. I'm a perspective on the truth at hand. Who's that man recording every last location of where you've been? Every moment making sure that you're existing without kindling a flame of revolt and frustration against a plan to wear down integration, scientific experimentation. You're wasting my precious time with pestilent crimes have invaded my mind, thinking I was blind, but I can see the cameras in the sky. My existence is sent to the investigator, where my everyday's just another file. Mother, child, what's the reason why? I heard if you whisper your words, you won't be heard by the Echelon system that's main focus is to protect and preserve the earth, but evidently is destroying anything pure. Anything pure. Linger in space, taking pictures of us while we bicker, push and shove it a rat race. We will always speak the truth without an ounce of fear, knowing doings are watched upon and our words are captured by the mechanical ear.
Phone, you can speak to the president directly. He's dropping it and announce, Southern hospitality, Texas Ranger and a stranger, the satellite circling the skies, surveying children playing on the things they're saying. You can spot a terrorist as a toddler and zap him with a laser from the Apollo space station. In collaboration with other countries on the tip of the New World Order, Echelon's main order of business is to visit you via email, and indeed they'll take what information they see necessary without a question of a person's privacy. What irony, we're fighting to be free, but had our freedom taken from us subversively. And now, speaking earnestly, is a beacon from bureaucracy to try and take a walk on me and lock me up in a secret military prison in Central America. It's Nazi modernism that's causing mass hysteria. I try to envision a peaceful world, but they're hacking into the back of my thoughts to try and figure out my plot to remove these parasites from the top. How many lanterns linger in space, taking pictures of us while we bicker, push and shove it a rat race. We will always speak the truth without an ounce of fear, knowing doings are watched upon and our words are captured by the mechanical ear. Looking through my window, seeing images that to the eye are simple, sensing obstructions of humanity's functions and fears that continually ripple outward, only to reroute and reach for reasoning. Not an easy thing to do in this situation, changing my placement, paving a way into a bubble blocking any type of invasion that could possibly lead to my removal or elimination. Formatting my formation into a trip through a wire connected those who affected me with a biased type of empire, fueling the fire, leaving me only to desire a place of rest, realizing they thought they got the best of me. I'm a warrior even without words, waiting the season, waiting for your downfall. You never reach victory, analyzing every human to the T, and visibly see the only effect of the futuristic system is humans trapped in misery. I'm learning on this course, candid cameras capture my journey, released on DVD, based on the machines that for years had done research on me. How many lanterns linger in space, taking pictures of us while we bicker, push and shove it a rat race. We will always speak the truth without an ounce of fear, knowing doings are watched upon and our words are captured by the mechanical ear. They take God no matter how hard you try. We grab wheelchairs and follow a trail and touch with the earth to reach the sky. No matter how many machines they build, their biomechanical mess is less worthy of an applause and more worthy of a Kirby. None of these government spies can serve me. I'm a spiritual body not bound by time or space. The time they waste trying to understand the thoughts that we construct of conscious love for everyone shines as bright as the sun and burns away this Babylonian rerun. All pun intended to offend the devils who invented a system to watch over God's beautiful flowers. When we all align ourselves with God, our powers are greater than Gandalf. You can call me Sir Isaac Muhammad Randolph III, musical nerd with the guidance of earth to protect I. No servant of Shaitan can infect I and I are powerful. These monsters are miserable. I cite the truth and spit it out in syllables. The willing and strong that sing along, the weak that tag along are forever lost in Babylon.
Never-ending, the spending only increases over the years. Investments don't always work for the better, but trying's more effective than putting out no effort to notice reasoning on how you got here. The presence is a present, no matter any thought of depression or stress in your stance. Need to advance to it all and take a chance to only fall, but rebuilding the foundation will be a wise decision. Sometimes the reasoning behind all my stress and my two personalities head-on collision, produced by my senses, overwhelmed by synthetic sources leading to deadly addictions. But the rhythm keeps pounding on beat, I'm trying to relax and calmly get myself situated, marinated by the heat to the point where just to speak will feel like work. And I love to say hello to the pristine princess girls, but I can't even afford a smile, better yet a blink from the eye. So why put out the work that retracted to jerks and leave them hurt and desperate for revenge? Fatal attraction is what women want from men, and don't let me forget lots of potted money to spend. All I have is hard to lend, and usually that's not enough to make it through life. Don't try to pretend and play with my emotions, I'm not the type to fall for the greed. And if I'm not what you expected, I grant you a blessing from my presence to leave. We've been indoctrinated into a system of cash, class, and religion. Superstitions keep us from living outside of a box. I'm in need of a serious detox. Been followed by the Fox and also programmed by NBC to continue in this robotic motion of spending endlessly. Early in the morning for a cup of tea, they take $1 from me, and it's a luxury if I make it home on empty with the $5 my best friend lent me. I'm in serious limbo. Every baller's got a bimbo with the same IQ. Artificial androids in a material miniseries. Known as a monotony of maintaining a frame of mind that matches that of a working stiff. It's not the crack in your back from whip, but it's that sting in your heart when you're ripped apart from your inner self. We're trying to attain wealth with no one to depend on but self. With self is larger than life. I know I have a universe inside of me. To share it sets me free. So I'm prepared to be a penniless poet, though I make moves independent. Never to be financially dependent on the musical endeavors that I treasure is the voice of our creator. Cultivated in concrete, communicated through our collective consciousness. Gotta keep everything in life in perspective of personal benefits, but share blessings with those that fit the caliber. So I'll look for in a fellow soldier. I'll be more mellow when I'm older, but for now I'm hungry in the struggle trying to get over. I am an intelligent mass, knowledgeable enough to see through my own mask. I asked the mirror, who are you? As if I had Alzheimer's. What am I holding on to? A fake picture of yesteryear. I assume I've forgotten the bad times in order to move on instead. Or I might have lost my head, thinking my father never wanted me, no. I'll take excuses to God for it. That's the abusing situation before someone into my hospital patient. I'm patiently waiting for my old lady to walk back into my life, telling me everything's gravy. Let's live life lazy. Mediterranean sunset, start listening to Jay-Z. Instead of conscious rapping, sinners holding remains unmarketable. The remarkably pitiful world sees every opportunity to heighten consciousness. Bring unity, sing through me, even your infinite wisdom you sight I fit. Gotta be tough to think with time to violence, it's endless. Every day I walk the road towards humble realizations. Every breath of my forgotten simply wrote down, trailing behind me, guides around me. I even intent on navigating through cement stories, buildings built to beliefs that if you reach for an existence outside of man-made limits, you'll be rewarded with a pair of empty hands. They rent the land and so more like illusions for the masses. Mom and pop perpetuate tricking us cash crops. Little civilians can't stop consuming the things of body-friendly comfort products. Whether it be fatty food or a federal fast weight loss, all across the board, the evil money hoarders place orders, which are followed by the ones whose minds are hollow. How long will the killer process while we stand along, hitting the bombs, thinking we're contributing to the healing of the nations? I think I just might light myself on fire in the footsteps of the United Nations. This is a freedom cry. If you gotta turn off your TV, it's probably too late. Just been backed up and it's starting to explode. I'll say it's time for imagination. I'll live in a parallel yet higher state than Cali. My soul remains in Egyptian alleys. I've been pressed down, but now I'll rise up in early retirement. Piss poor, but I ain't buying it. No, I'll be alright. Thanks for nothing. I have nothing more to exchange with these vampires who plot to profit from friends who sit around campfires. My life is an extensive search to find something new yet oddly familiar. As if I experienced it now early dawn before my soul spawned. My buggy recollections of past lives and collective consciousness. Currently I'm uncertain if what I do is pertinent. I know that nothing is permanent. I'll push past illusions of grandeur. Stay true to artistic. Those who know becoming life early and are eternally uplifted. And then early and then are eternally uplifted. Becoming life early and are eternally uplifted. Belly flopping toddlers side down under corporal seascapes, drowning in deep waters without warning. More than a prize piece of the population, escaping through the hands of karma cycle, circulating cherished moments while being a burden. Belly flop shattered from sparkling blues, breath and gas. Single for seconds, helpless to harm's occurrence. Nourish me from both sides, strangle with love. Dispensing endless drugs of other guilt. The marbles filtered in malfunction when I was built. Had to tell loose parts to show my upbringing undertaken by it taking too much. Per person, I first in line at last. Overwhelmed with many questions to ask. Where am I? From the perspective of a perfect stranger, dangerous reflection or
affected my uncontrolled anger. Waiter asking for no tip, justifies beyond your rights and low morale. But now I have to suffice for being a replacement to another being. Leaning against walls, barely part of the picture. Mixture in a mirror, off kilter, and wilter witness, wearing weights as clothes. Discarded effort is to never know, to never grow. So stability, imagery seems monotonous, black and white duotone. Composition, recognition, regularly regulated conditions. Man down, positioned in a pinfall past enemy lines. Struck in a split second in time. Real the appearance of a serious situation ultimately caused paranoid perceptions. My flesh barely holds me together. Receptor of reptile relation before the virus creation. Face of the primates, free materialistic apes. Before automatic contraptions and scholastic students attachments and form. In red lead hits the page. Controlled by presidency of the principal standards. Deliberate, inconsiderate execution of all my growth and grammar. Grand jury dabble, personality stabber. First wound worn by the watcher. Bloodshed breaks all-time highs. Why? Why don't you look at yourself, realize in the big picture where do you fit? And can you admit false space in the future to explore every explanation that could be? Bravery is not brutality, basically that should be obvious. Don't fool yourself to make you feel you get lost in this. We're really get lost in this and robbed in this. Constantly reevaluating my sentence. Was headed forward, strength settles in silence. But releasing reality as I see it. Dreams are just dreams, making means to achieve inner freedom.
Do you find yourself when you lose your mind, or do you lose your mind when you find yourself? Self-awareness, being aware of cards dealt by upper agents, stating the drawbacks of living concentrated, spending tremendous amounts of time to rhythm thoughts I cannot count. Going through the head leaks out of a mouth, effect eyes water crying in time. But do you find yourself when you lose your mind? I think I lose my mind when I find myself. Whatever my mental metals, making reversals and reflex, resonating double meanings more or less is best. Three-dimensional objects who subject themselves to search and seizures, sensitive sexes fevered forever, favor federal faceless traitors, temporary trainer, tempted temple to try to oppose. Awkward hawks hovering the heads who can't comprehend more than a computer captivating most population's thoughts. I've lost lots and gained more, and sometimes gained lots and lots more, but fought for a fellowship belonging to a crew of strongest contenders. Transcending through time, but do you find yourself when you lose your mind, or do you lose your mind when you find yourself out of rhyme for wealth? Expressions collect attention from those containing aggression against living in hell. The mind is one with obvious power, shooting pellets which ricochet off today's realms. Solid surfaces get stripped, payments to your pimp, helping you exist. Land that forces elements of the evil upon people in a sickening surrounding. Scrounging sense found on dense surfaces, but at the same time pounding my way out of a fortress with no fortune. My mouth speaks words, but it's wordless. I'm a cordless cargo carrier carrying information that can induce improvement towards ignorant movements. Who's in theory inventor, inventing my right to enter or leave? Can I use my judgment without being judged amongst aggressive thought thieves? This plot leads me besides burying reefs, cut to bleed with deep scar tissue to leave a memorable mark. Motivation to make a mark as an artistic spark of entertainments, but my arrangements aren't arranged in a way to attain men's approval.
Sometimes I find myself in a situation sitting by myself, but I don't mind cause I'm reminded of the inner space, it's endless. My antennas receive information and send this message sentence by sentence. When you have nothing to hold on to in every last notion that you would know to be true, you just might find a part of your perception have been tainted. Your consciousness faded and it seems to have been sleeping, while your body moves and mind makes decisions that you later envision as a mistake. Only a heightened state of awareness can help to break these shady patterns and expose the sunlight to your lonely atoms. Living a sheltered spiritual life is what keeps the victims hype, and it's your mind that convinces your intuition to doubt itself to the point of a dull blade, no longer able to slice cable that upholds a charade. mind. I've been told so many things, I wonder will I ever shed these men's examples and start listening to my voice inside the rambles. And is that voice my own or just a clone of a character on TV? Only through letting go will I ever know, and knowledge reigns supreme inside this picture show. Pick a path and start to grow, but lose your mind, it's not a map, and it's manufactured for the masses. Misinformation that makes mountains of media with poison fountains feeding phony lies and images to captivate your eye. Yourself on the other hand, my brother man is in tune with God, and we all try the earth under the law of a law. I think of karma like a carnival ride. How many times have I spun around the wheel to lose my pride? Alone again with only my own mind to ponder all past lessons forgotten in the mix-up. I think I see the fall police, somebody better yell 6 up. I shed all pre-programmed and assume identities from my head. Return to the place inside from which I fled. To face myself, I was scared and I've been prepared to undergo such an undertow of my psyche. Psychics me back-to-back personalities in my mind get along perfectly. I wonder what a pharmacist would prescribe me. Probably Ritalin, Prozac, and Paxil all mixed up in Ivy. Highly unlikely, might never matters what makes my life possible. I delete false files and remove all RAM, stepping over obstacles made by my mind, made by a man with mic in hand. I'm gonna find myself again and again and again and again and again and again and again.
Forgiveness brings light to shade seeming colorless, cleansing through courage to let all trouble slip. Out of spirit's distress I've been led into the future based on the past, and in between working to strengthen myself to be able to last in a life originating from a massive energy combining in effect displaying the human entity. Choosing to ease away from restraints that govern society is constantly telling the people it's for the better. Bias-based upbringing, the American cult that leaves internal damage amongst people who are forced to feel impossibilities to manage without the whitewashed ways they've been taught. They tread the water floating with fears of drowning, consuming over-the-counter prescriptions, unaware of natural healing, slicing founds in everyday surroundings. Some have raised into this facade, from young age growing into a mutant. These mutants use their minds to mold society into the meaningless word normal, seeming to those who have senses odd. Normal is a view of the broad-minded, and many exist without knowledge, spirituality, and God. But breaking through, taking ascension will most definitely put them in awe. Discipline overpowers occurrences of negative. Life's journey through the wilderness, pricked by thorns but not giving in to the pain. Life's priceless, go for gain. Happiness can be the hardest emotion to release from the brain. From the brain. Discipline scopes paths of righteous living. Lessons learned daily, travel, attaining a position to live in a state of being, content with my true intentions. To rest in complete relaxation, knowing that I invested my time wisely. Uprising to never topple in frustration. This is a search, I evolve with the earth, entering from her and ending the dirt. It's all evident, ready to let all grudges be pushed aside. Forgiveness is the hardest thing to grant, and I ask myself why. Because it means gotta swallow your pride. Proven to be the bigger, crush conflict, create peace in your inner. That's the honest winner. Reality's what you make it. I've learned this through the trials taken amongst life's sacred moments. My perception is open, knowing God's watching, wondering how will the earth last. We're killing it. Basis of life they missed was discipline. Discipline overpowers occurrences of negative. Life's journey through the wilderness, pricked by thorns but not giving in to the pain. Life's priceless, go for gain. Happiness can be the hardest emotion to release from the brain. Image means nothing, your heart holds all. An upright being is evident to fall. Quitting is easier than trying to stand tall. Make the most of every situation. Regret is a disease festering with hesitation. Let your presentation be your performance. Don't conform into their cult, seek sense. Make positive means of defense to transcend, battling all elements or sediments. Pressing ignorant ordinance away from my coordinates. I'm sure that this depression we're all enduring is possible to pass. Self-realization is needed amongst every human being, leading to a path of a life stress-free. Yeah, ha ha ha. Technological difficulties slowly falling towards crossbones, resembling evident departure. Computers taking over, becoming the smarter thinker, doing it for you all in time, reproducing freely until making everything you pursue better for them. From ape to man and man to technological advance, leading to the world's last dance. The lowest that people have no chance to release a perception on political views. Being a produced person that boosts by its manners, government has juiced into the diet of the quiet people, trying to deny its effects of erect output that eventually will let technology pursue every step for you. And if you are aware of their actions and aren't showing your opinions, information overload might kick in. Slogan is listen but prepare to be unheard. There's a big bird watching with transmitters in both eyes, downloading information off your mind every time you try to think. Paranoid people paralyzed from letting their identity to have distinct differences, clouding my mind trying to insist it's a dream. Awake in the future, teleported to triumph, traveling through my third eye light beams, sights and conquering these technical difficulties.
You are now experiencing technical difficulties. Technicians taking over your thoughts and dreams. Laws and schemes, corporations clean out of human races, creed to lead into a crop season of the weed. In a rich of greed, a life desensitized from mass machinery.
You are now experiencing technical difficulties. Technicians taking over your thoughts and dreams. Laws and schemes, corporations clean out of the human race's creed to lead into a crop season of the weed. In a bush of greed, a life desensitized by mass machinery.
Digitized disinformation, diligently desensitized everyone. Eyes transfixed in a spaceship in the blue skies horizon. Teleport me to a cave atop Mount Zion. I arrived at the lion's den with an ASR-10 used to make medicine. With a pad and a pen, I plan out passages through jungles filled with savages. Aliens contact me from outer space with the intention of establishing direct lines of communication. I'm awaiting instructions for navigation from a higher source. So sorry your sour perception caused an infection in your course. Predestined by your motherboard. Viruses are seen in the iris of an opposing party. Reptile aliens invading the White House, controlling your brain with paranoid psychology. Hip-hop, a culture created to carry kids into millennium as misfit mystics with MPC zip discs. Demos passed out in Pluto, where my producer has blue skin. Our studio's a portal where we travel through the galaxy, return to the world of mortals to shine light upon the fallacies. This Alice in Wonderland search to understand the mind, manipulate with a hand, pick it apart, put it back together better. That is the nature of progressive patterns. MCs can be saviors and your best companions. You have now joined the path of consciousness expansion as a hippie hands out liquid invitations to the crystal mansion. You are now experiencing technical difficulties. Technicians taking over your thoughts and dreams. Laws and schemes, corporations clean out of human races, creed to lead into a crop season of the weed. In a rich of greed, a life desensitized from mass machinery.
You are now experiencing technical difficulties. Technicians taking over your thoughts and dreams. Laws and schemes, corporations clean out of the human race's creed to lead into a crop season of the weed. In a bush of greed, a life desensitized by mass machinery. Are you scared of change? Rearrangements, renovate ruckus to realness. I can't deal with empty-minded and mistreated people who find this power presented in paper, pronouncing president's pictures as proof you're a true teacher, a true leader. Trying to break their speaker box to let their voices drop. Onslaught by the chief commander robot. Hold thoughts and throw thoughts back as I counterattack the knack and lack of hunger for knowledge. Clouding my brain, forgetting not all, but clearing towards harmonious horizons. For seconds, saturated by cement walls, whispering you never break the maze. Mirrored as a person in a haze, even to serve a purpose, penciling thoughts on display. Technical difficulties, true plots can't get caught. Slipping through the media, the government would be in a spot. Situated by a flock of angry assassins, unmasking the truth to the world with equal chaotic crashes. Clashes by those treated as terrorists cause of tan skin. There's no reason I should be constantly asking myself if there's a camera capturing my openness to living. Technical difficulties, diseases evolving to find victims, just to rid the planet of human existence. Downfall of the people and an uprise of a computerized way of living.
You are now experiencing technical difficulties. Technicians taking over your thoughts and dreams. Laws and schemes, corporations clean out of human races, creed to lead into a crop season of the weed. In a rich of greed, a life desensitized from mass machinery.
You are now experiencing technical difficulties. Technicians taking over your thoughts and dreams. Laws and schemes, corporations clean out of the human race's creed to lead into a crop season of the weed. In a bush of greed, a life desensitized by mass machinery.
Outer space limits of my mind's imagination don't exist. Use my mind as a machine and fill my data port, absorbing knowledge, good vibes, experience, and spoken words. Decipher codes to serve the force when used by evil souls. This technological molehill of a planet is 1 billion years behind its closest neighbor. Yet DJs and rhyme sayers seem to be advancing. Travel through your inner space at pace when freestyle dancing. Channeling the spirit of creativity through movement, testing the boundaries and breaking down barriers. Never knew a beat could be a spacecraft carrier. Dispersing lyrics from my double helix helicopter. Eliminate the egos that create these cocky monsters. Moving as they pass, the herded mass rely upon the lies that fed. Replace your deadly daily bread with knowledge for your head. Embedded in these messages we send. Defenders of a dying breed who see the irony in a society that's technologically advanced yet spiritually declined into a state of unemotional roller coasters. Girls stare at posters of Britney Spears interfering with their growth and putting fears in their mind. Taking to mind the boys of Columbine and any incident where inventions fell into the ignorant hands of man and caused imprints that remain indefinitely indented upon the land. You are now experiencing technical difficulties. Technicians taking over your thoughts and dreams. Laws and schemes, corporations clean out of human races, creed to lead into a crop season of the weed. In a rich of greed, a life desensitized from mass machinery.
You are now experiencing technical difficulties. Technicians taking over your thoughts and dreams. Laws and schemes, corporations Generations clean out of the human race's creed to lead into a crop season of the weed and a bush of greed, a life desensitized by mass machinery.